All right, we're starting this week's episode off with an AJ rant because, God, I should have known better than to ask you guys for help. No offense, I appreciate you, but this is like a prime example of just because you can type a comment doesn't mean that you should. So last week at the end of the episode, I was kind of irritated with this blacklight because it wasn't blacklighting. So I said, hey, blacklight experts that might know more than me about blacklights, let me know down below what is going on. And I specifically said over and over again during the entire project when I talked about these black lights that I wanted a black tube light because the light itself is a prop. I needed to fit a certain era. I wanted like 80s and 90s haunted house, a vintage haunted house. So yeah, the light is going to be shining onto these guys, but the light itself is a part of the decoration. It's a part of the theme. It is a prop that goes in here. And for some reason, everybody in the comments was like, maybe you should get like corner standing LED lights. Maybe you should get a strip of LED lights. Maybe you should get one of those new black lights that's all LED lights. I don't want LED lights. I want a black tube light. And yes, the room is black. I'm not trying to light the room up. I'm trying to light the props up, the things that would react to a black light. Oh my God. Anyways, I found this today. I was just kind of snooping around Walmart, ended up finding this. It is UV reactive for sure, so I'm just assuming that none of the bulbs that I have, oddly enough, out of these 3 blacklight bulbs are actually UV reactive. So we're gonna take this one down, we're gonna swap it out. Hopefully that is the end of this mess, and then we can get right to these shelves because we did go to Menards today and bought the lumber, so we need to cut it, paint it, let it dry, get it hung, and then hopefully we can start moving the actual items into Dino's today. But first, let's conquer this blacklight situation. So that obviously did not work, and the only logical conclusion that I can come to is that black lights aren't real and never actually existed, and I've made them up in my mind, and that this is all just a big Mandela effect about black lights, and all of my childhood memories of having black lights just were fever dreams, because what in the actual is the issue here? Well, that's pretty much perfect, man. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of puts the old Dino's mask wall to shame just because having this much more room allows you to see so much more at once. And the variety here, all of these different colors bouncing off of each other, it's just a beautiful sight. So I am definitely happy with how the mask wall is coming along. Obviously, we've still got some open spaces up there, but we definitely have the inventory to fill them. And I want to talk about the inventory real quick, because as good as this wall looks, the rest of the room is starting to fall apart. We have started just moving everything else in here. I wanted to get the boxes out of the way of this room so we could continue demoing this wall over here and getting this room ready to be the horror room. So all my slashers, all my video game and movie stuff is going to go over there, and that will be the horror room. So I wanted to get all of the Dino stuff over here and ready to go up, because we are officially moving stuff in. Obviously, that's what this entire video has been about. So in these boxes, we've got a ton of masks left to go. We still got masks down here left to go. We've got props, blow mold stuff, whatever it is. And then in some of these boxes, we've got the stuff that's going to hang on the walls. We had an old like pegboard at the old Dino's Mask shop. We are not going to have the room to hang the entire pegboard in here, but the good news is we are going to be able to cut that down into smaller pieces and do them in the corners here. So we will have all sorts of props like these horrible skulls hanging off of the pegboard, and it's going to just overwhelm the entire place. There's going to be floor to ceiling items, and I think that it's going to be beautiful. So in the next video, hopefully we are starting to unpack these totes and getting them out of the way. And then I think probably the biggest hang up or dilemma in this episode is going to be this display case here. This was the display case in the old Dinos, and man, it was pretty much the perfect size for that really, really narrow room. However, having it in here, kind of an issue. It's not even half of this wall, and I hate that, because what I had envisioned in my head was this display case coming all the way down almost to these doors here. So you'd have a little bit of room to kind of walk in between the counter and the door, like an employee would be able to walk back here and grab a mask down for a customer or whatever the fake scenario is. But obviously this is too short and it just is a little awkward. So I am definitely on the hunt for another display case, something a little closer to like 6 foot, maybe even 8 foot, something that comes all the way down here, and something that has a full glass front. This one obviously has some storage in the back, and that leaves a lot of room for things to not be seen. So if we do a bigger case that has like multiple shelves that you can see all from the front, because the front is all glass, that would be amazing, because again, we have no shortage of items for Dinos, and I feel like we are only going to acquire more and find more as we continue unpacking boxes. But this is where I am going to leave you with Dinos in this episode. I feel super, super accomplished, especially when I walk around the corner and see this. So I definitely can't wait to get this shelf or display going and have all the stuff set up inside and on top of the case. That's going to be amazing. And then Dino here is going to be propped up over the case with his fists on the counter, just ready to serve your big ass. But we are not done with this episode, because I want to give you guys a little bit of an update in here in the haunted house, because an item arrived that I want to put up by the end of this video, because I think I'm getting over my black light issue. Now, as I walk in here, even with the lights on, you can see that the black light is a little reactive to the right things. My bracelets here are pretty neon, and that gets even better when I turn the light off. So over here, the black lights are definitely starting to do their job. I do believe that I am going to get another one right here. And who knows, maybe we'll throw 2 more down on the sides there. I don't know, but I got this. This is spider webs, the old cobwebs, the cheap synthetic cobwebs that they sell in stores. And I just wanted to test this out, so I didn't get too much, but this might actually be enough to do what I want to do. I want to just put them everywhere, dude. I want to start in the corners. I want to go to the floor. I want cobwebs all over this place, because cobwebs are definitely a staple of vintage Halloween, 90s Halloween, 80s Halloween, probably even 70s Halloween. I don't know, but they're also a staple of haunted attractions. Every haunted attraction I go to has these everywhere. The look of them is very, very cool, especially in the right setting, like in a fake haunted house. And the feel of them, man, like they're just everywhere. They're touching your face when you're trying to walk through these little corridors, whatever it is. And I absolutely love that. So it does look like they are reacting pretty well to the black lights, which means that I think that this is going to have an even cooler effect once they're up and kind of highlight these black lights a little bit. So what do you say we crack on into this and we get some cobwebs hung up in the haunted house? Alright guys, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for this video. I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about this. Like, the look of it just isn't right. I really like the way that the light is reflecting off of the spider webs, giving us that very neon glow. I love that. That looks cool. But I don't really care for how the webs are coming out. It just seems like this stuff is not stringy enough. Like, the stuff on the wall looks okay, this little section right here looks okay, but the way that they wad that stuff up, it comes in like these little dreads almost, and that seems to throw off the way that it stretches across there. So I don't know what's up. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe this just is the worst of the cheap spider webs. I thought all of this stuff would be the same exact thing, but I guess I am incorrect about that, because this is actually getting frustrating, and it's just not worth it for me to get mad over. It's not worth it for me to ruin my perfectly fine day over some 50-cent cobwebs, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, this isn't permanent. I was just kind of trying to get a feel for it, and now hopefully, maybe I can invite a friend out that knows what they're doing with this. Maybe I can order some sort of new, higher quality, cheap spider web. I don't know. But I do know that the lights are doing exactly what they're supposed to do with the spider web, so that's cool. And that gives me a little bit of hope for next week's episode when I figure out the actual web issue. So yeah, dude, there you go. Now, as always, I am going to end this video by telling you guys thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the House of Masks, however it is you choose to do so. Speaking of which, I would highly, highly recommend going over and becoming a patron today. I have been releasing some incredible patron exclusive videos, and at a pretty high rate. I think I am now doing more patron exclusive videos than regular general public videos, and that's just because that's the way of the world. Unfortunately, money makes the world go round, and this is my job. But the good news is that becoming a patron and seeing all of those exclusive videos and all of the general public videos early is that it's only $5 a month. So for $5 a month, literally the cost of a coffee, you guys can see all of that and help support the House of Masks. Please consider it. I appreciate you. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Can't wait to get back to work on this. Can't wait to get back to work in here. And yeah, dude, I guess until next time, I'll see you guys later.